Welcome to this explainer on the 5 p.m. mystery, a story of unbreakable loyalty. All right, picture your classic, quiet American town, the kind of spot where everyone knows your name and routines, yeah, they are literally set in stone. Now, it hits exactly 5 p.m., quitting time. And right on the dot, every single day, this golden retriever makes a dead sprint to the local bus stop. Now, look, usually dogs have zero concept of time, right? They just want their next snack, maybe a belly rub, or a solid spot to nap in the sun. But this wasn't some dog just aimlessly wandering around looking to play. This was a highly calculated daily mission. He was completely locked in.
So, you gotta ask yourself, what exactly was he waiting for? You see a dog do this once, maybe twice, and you figure, hey, weird coincidence. But every single day, at the exact same minute? Man, people started talking. The whole town was just speechless. Locals would walk by and see this dog post up at the quiet bus stop, sitting there with absolutely perfect posture, just staring down the street. The sheer focus on this animal was insane. It quickly became the town's ultimate mystery, like why 5 p.m. and why that one specific bus stop?
We talk a lot about grit, right? About stoicism, about dragging yourself out of bed to hit the gym at 5 a.m. or grinding through a brutal shift when you're completely wiped out. Well, let me tell you, this dog was putting us all to shame. We're talking unwavering discipline every single day. 0 days off, no excuses. He didn't just bail when he got tired. He showed a level of absolute dedication that literally forces you to stop, take notice, and pay respect to his mission. I mean, just think about enduring a freezing winter or brutally sweltering summer without a heavy coat or AC to retreat to, just sitting out there on the pavement. A month goes by, and he's holding his ground in the pouring rain. 6 months pass, and the whole street is buried in freezing, bitter snow, but he doesn't budge. 9 months later, he's sweating it out through the blazing heat of the late summer sun. And then, a full 12 months, an entire year, through literally every harsh element nature could throw at him, he endured the agonizing passage of time with this unshakable hope in his eyes.
Naturally, the folks in the neighborhood couldn't just sit back and watch a dog tough it out in the elements. They tried to step up. They brought out bowls of food, fresh water, just trying to help the guy out during his daily watch. But here's the thing. He was not there to socialize. He didn't care about the handouts or the attention. He had absolute, undeniable tunnel vision. Every time those big air brakes squeaked and a transit bus rolled up, his head snapped to attention. He just scanned the doors, checking every single passenger as they came and went.
For months, the town was totally in the dark about his backstory, just guessing and wondering, until one specific elderly bus driver pulled his route into the stop. When those doors opened and he looked out at that golden retriever, it just hit him like a ton of bricks. He recognized the dog instantly. The guy stepped out of his bus literally with tears welling up in his eyes, because this driver, he knew exactly who this dog belonged to, and he knew exactly why this animal was standing guard like a soldier every single day. To really get what broke that driver's heart, we got to rewind the clock. We need to go back exactly 1 year earlier to this very same quiet bus stop on a totally different afternoon to get to the real emotional core of this mystery, because this is where the story actually starts. Turns out, the dog's owner was a young U.S. Army soldier, and this bus stop, it wasn't just some random piece of concrete. It was his exact departure point for deployment. If you know any veterans or anyone serving, you already know the heavy reality and the weight of that kind of goodbye. It is a massive sacrifice. You're stepping up to do your duty, but it means leaving your home, your family, and yeah, your absolute best friend behind. Getting on that bus meant being separated from his most loyal wingman. Right before he picked up his heavy duffel bag to leave, the soldier got down on one knee. He pulled his best buddy in close, hugged him tight, and just made this simple, rock-solid promise. I'll come back for you. That was his final whisper right before the bus doors closed, the engine roared to life, and he shipped out to serve his country. Now, to a dog, a promise isn't just a casual see you later. It's a literal mission objective. He took that final command entirely to heart and believed every single word his owner said, treating it like an unbreakable oath. That is exactly why he anchored his entire life to that spot. He returned every evening, just hoping today was the day. He was standing his post with the fierce, unyielding discipline of a soldier expecting his brother in arms to return. So for 365 grueling days, the freezing snow, pouring rain, and blistering heat, that routine was totally unbreakable. Every day, 5 p.m., he's there. But then, on what felt like just a completely average, ordinary Tuesday evening, after a full year of relentless waiting, that endless cycle was finally about to shatter.
The 5 p.m. bus rolls up to the stop, right on schedule. The heavy air brakes hiss. The doors swing open. The dog is just sitting there on the pavement, giving that same slow, cautious tail wag, doing his daily check, eyes totally locked on the doorway, scanning the faces of the passengers stepping down, just like he's done hundreds and hundreds of times before.
But guys, this time, it's different. A pair of familiar, heavy military boots step down onto the pavement. As soon as those boots hit the concrete, the dog completely freezes. For a split second, time just stops entirely. The scent, the stance, the presence. He recognizes his absolute best friend instantly. And then boom, an absolute explosion of energy. The dog sprints full speed right into his owner's arms. A promise kept. The deployment is over, the wait is finally done. The soldier drops his gear, grabs his dog, and man, even the absolute toughest guy in town would tear up watching this reunion. A full year of stoic, agonizing waiting paid off in one massive moment of pure, undeniable brotherhood. It really all boils down to this. A loyal dog never forgets the promise of the person they love. This is a massive lesson in raw dedication. When things get tough, when the weather turns bad, and when the odds seem totally stacked against you, true loyalty means holding the line. It's a powerful reminder of the kind of steadfast grit we should all be striving to embody in our own lives.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, it kind of forces you to look in the mirror and ask a hard question. What promise are you refusing to give up on? We just walked through an incredible display of grit and dedication to a single commitment. Who are you standing by no matter what? Take that energy into your week, guys. Stay locked in. Thanks for hanging out with me to explore this story.